Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to the channel. Creating a PowerPoint presentation can be time-consuming task. From deciding what to include and organizing the content to designing individual slides and making everything look professional, it can easily take hours. But what if AI could take care of much of this work for you? The real advantage of using modern AI presentation tools is not simply that they can create slides for you. They can save you time and effort, allowing you to focus more on what really matters. That is, your ideas, your creativity, and the message you want to communicate. And there is another important advantage. With AI, you don't necessarily have to settle for the first presentation that is generated through iterative programming. You can redefine the content, change the structure, modify the design, and improve the presentation until you get an output that is much closer to what you actually want. So, in today's video, we are going to explore three modern AI tools that can help you create PowerPoint presentations. We will look at Gamma AI, Templafy, and Qwen. Rather than simply showing you how to generate a presentation, I will also highlight the strengths and limitations of each tool. So let's start with the Gamma AI. In the Gamma AI, as you can see that you can reach out to this particular app through gamma.app URL. And once you reach here, you can see that this is the front GUI, the graphical user interface that is in front of you, and that is very user friendly. As you can see, I've created a workspace of my own, and you can create yours by just simply entering your name. So in front, you can see that you can have many more options available in front of you, like the template and the media. But let's quickly go to create a new presentation. And once you go here, now it is asking you to enter the prompt that what you actually want. So this is saying describe it, paste it, or drop a file. So if you can drop a file, then it can generate the presentation out of that. For example, the research paper or the lectures or any other notes that is given by your instructor or your supervisor. So again, as in my previous videos, I have repeatedly told you that in order to generate a professional prompt, Gemini is the one that I truly prefer. For example, it can convert to your language, which could be quite simple and not very correct. It can generate a very professional prompt out of the language that you have given. So I've written a prompt that is, I want a McKinsey style research deck on the use of transformer augmented YOLO title, transformer augmented YOLO, from discovery to implementation and computer vision recognition. So what I want is, I want a PowerPoint slides from this very in-demand topic that is transformer augmented YOLO, and let me copy this prompt and then paste it right here. And then once I paste it here, I'm going to ask it to generate the PowerPoint presentation. And then as you can see that it has started to visualize whatever the prompt that you have given, and now it is going to generate the PowerPoint slides. Now it is asking some input from you that what visual style fits the best. So it is telling you you can select from these four choices, that is minimal, visual, classic, and consultant. So as you can see, you can ask AI to decide for you from your side. So I have clicked on decide for me, and now it has started to generate the outline of the PowerPoint slides. And now as you can see that it is trying to generate the slides. And now we are going to come up with the limitation part. So the limitation is that it can generate up to 15 slides per sitting. And once you reach the limit of the 15 slides, it can generate the outline of or the whole presentation, but it is going to generate only 10 to 15 slides per day. So once you exhaust the limit, you have to come up for the present the very next day in order to complete the presentation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say show me, and then based upon the show me part, I'm going to click on generate. Once I click on the generate by selecting what kind of a style I want, now it is going to generate the PowerPoint presentation. So since Gamma AI would be utilizing generative AI in order to prepare the presentation, it can take some time to generate the presentation. So I have pre-generated the presentation based upon the output of the Gamma. As you can see that it has started to generate the presentation using generative AI. So we are not going to wait this long because it might take 5 to 10 minutes to prepare the presentation. As you can see, it is generating the presentation word by word. So we are not going to wait this long, and I'm going to show you the refined output of the Gamma AI so that you may know what kind of a presentation that it has given us. So as you can see that based upon the template that I have chosen, it has given me an excellent output. So as you can see that it has started from transform augmented YOLO, and what was the scope, the method and the coverage, the paradigm shift, and it has shifted from accuracy milestones to adoption vectors. Then the evolution, core innovation, what is really meant by the transformer augmentation. And then it has given us the comparison between the architectures, the performance benchmarks, the graphs are very impressive as you can see, attention models, energy efficiency, and then source bibliography, and that is pretty much it. So you can really continue these slides in the very next sitting, but this can be the limitation attached to the Gamma AI that it can generate the slides up to 10 slides per sitting or the 15 slides per sitting, and then perhaps you might have to come back the very next day in order to complete the presentation. So this is it from the Gamma AI. But the next tool that we are going to discuss is the Templafy, and let's just enter what the tool name is. And as you can see, that in front of you is the next tool that we are going to discuss, and this is again a very impressive tool to generate the PowerPoint presentation. Templafy takes a somewhat different approach to AI PowerPoint presentations. It's particularly useful for organizations that wanted presentations to follow consistent corporate branding and design sense. So it gives a slight professional look to your presentation, which can be very impressive if you are presenting in front of a high-tech audience or high-profile dignitaries. So let's just copy this prompt that we have generated through Gemini, and then again we are going to paste this present prompt into this space, and then just scroll down a bit, and then uh, you're good to go. But now you are going to select continue with Google. First, it is asking you to accept the terms, and then you're going to click on any of the emails that you are currently working. So it really doesn't matter. It is going to send a couple of updates on that particular email. And once you couple your email with the Templafy, now you're good to go. And again, it is asking you the prompt, and we have pasted this prompt, and then we are good to go. And as you can see that the thinking has been started, and it has started to generate the presentation. And much like the Gamma AI, it is asking you what kind of a primary audience for this research deck. So this is a very good input that it is asking, that what kind of an audience is there for which the presentation is intended. So technical team, executive, or mixed audience. So let's select the mixed audience, and then we are good to go. And then again, the next question would be, what should the deck mainly help you to do? Explain, compare, recommend, or support a publication. So we are going to select explain the field. Which use cases should the deck emphasize? So general object detection, medical imaging, autonomous systems, surveillance. So let's click surveillance. And now we have submitted our answers. So the answers have been given as an input. How current should the research coverage be? So latest available. And now, as you can see, that this is very thorough in its method, and it's quite descriptive. So we are going to have to input a couple of specific parameters in order for it to give a very specific output. So again, I just want the audience to see what kind of an output that will be shown, and what kind of slight prompts or the input that we have to give in order to make it precise. So it is now asking us to review the structure, and then once we click on the review structure, now it is going to give us like patterns. And again, it might take 5 to 10 minutes in order to give a whole presentation. So in order to save time, I have pre-generated the complete presentation, which we can have a look. And now As you can see that this has been the presentation that has been generated by Templafy. And again, based upon your preference, you can select and compare the presentation that I have shown earlier through Gamma AI, and this one is generated by Templafy. And as you can see that the agenda is much more refined as compared to the Gamma AI. The output is very clean, very neat. Why this topic matters in computer vision, and this is something that is very impressive. The timeline, as you can see, is much more appealing and much more. You can say that it is much more clean, and transformer detectors versus YOLO hybrids. And as you can see, that taxonomy has been given in a very neat structure, very impressive. The comparisons of different YOLOs have been given, the implementation roadmap has been given, and as you can see that now it has again generated 16 slides per sitting. And this is something, this slide length is very impressive as compared to Gamma, which in most of the time can give you 10 slides per sitting. So this is something that is very impressive. And that was the second tool that we intended to discuss. So let's close it down. And again, you can see that we have to just click on the presentation for us to create the presentation. And I have already shown you the finished product a couple of minutes ago. So the third one that is slightly complex, but it really doesn't have any limitation in terms of slide length attached to it, is the Qwen. Now, Qwen is a tool which I really recommend if you want. Major concern is avoiding strict slide generation limits. Qwen is much similar to the Chat GPT and the Claude and the Gemini, and it needs the prompt to generate first of all the slide structure and the slide outline, and then once it generates the slide outline, then you perhaps have to place the generated Python code in the Python to generate the PowerPoint slides. So let's see how this works. So as you can see that I have copy pasted the prompt that I have generated through Gemini in the Qwen AI structure, and then you can reach out to Qwen using this URL. And then once you have pasted this URL, now it has generated the slide outline. And as you can see, as compared to Gemini and as compared to Gamma and the Templafy, the slides are much more descriptive, much more comprehensive. The tables have been made, and the graphs would be made if you would require. But this is something that is very impressive, and it doesn't curtail the length of the slides. As you can see that we have reached slide number 27, 29, and 31, 34. The references are given in very much detail, but as of this particular point, you can see that it has not generated the PowerPoint presentation. It has just given you the outline. So what you need to do is now you will ask it, now good enough, you prepare a beautiful PowerPoint presentation. Again, using this prompt, again this will not give you a PowerPoint presentation because it is not something that is inbuilt in Qwen. But right at the bottom now, it has generated a code of Python, and it is just asking you to copy this particular code and place it in Python. So for the audience that is related to CS, this is a step that is very easy. But for all the general audience that are related to, for example, social science and etc., you need to just copy this code, and you can just download the Python in your laptop or the computer. For example, it is a very lightweight client of Python. So if you can open it, and once you open it, now you can generate a new file. And then once you have a new file, you can just paste that code over here and then click run. And then it is asking you to save this code, which is very easy to understand. So we can give it any name we want, and then we can save it. And then once it is saved, it is telling us that it has been a success. And now you can now find the file in a folder that has been shown over here, that is desktop transformer augmented YOLO. So this is the file that has been generated through Qwen and Python. And as you can see that it is a 27 slide document and it is very, very refined document as well. The comparisons are in very much detail. The details are a much more comprehensive than what we extracted from Gamma or from Templafy. But again, the downside is that you might have to spend an hour or two in refining the presentation if you're talking about the font and the font colors, and perhaps refining the graphs and the table. But again, the generation of the data is much more comprehensive and clean and thorough as compared to what we get in Gamma and the Templafy. So these are the three AI tools that we explored in today's video: Gamma AI, Templafy, and Qwen. But which one is actually the best? Well, there isn't a single answer. The best tool depends on what you're trying to achieve, whether you want speed, professional consistency, customization, or flexibility. So again, you can have a look at all of these tools in detail, and I would really recommend my audience to go over to all of these three tools and just try them out and see which tool fits you the best. And for more videos related to AI, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, that is Research Tools AI. And until next time, see you, take care, and best wishes.